Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Oh, but then you'll see I'm not wearing.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag.
To the flag
of the
United
United
States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands,
stands
one
one
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The
Okay.
notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been met by transmitting the notice of the regular meeting to the Commissioner's official newspaper on January 30th, 2020, and revised December 3rd, 2020. Posting the notice where required and filing a copy of the notice with the Commission clerk. The Deal Lake Commission meeting will be audio and videotaped and will be shown on APTV, Optimum 77, and throughout most of Monmouth County on BIOS 30. Tonight, we have Resolution 2068, a resolution to approve the minutes from the regular.
You got to do the roll call, Jess.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Bruce. I did that twice now. Allenhurst,
Here.
Asbury Park,
Here,
Deal, Interlaken,
Here.
Lock Harbor,
here,
Neptune, Ocean.
Yes.
Tonight, we have Resolution 2068, a resolution to approve the minutes of the regular meeting from October 15th, 2020. Someone please offer.
Offered.
Second,
second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Tonight, we have the bills. 2069 is the bills list for December 3rd, 2020. Bruce, you want to?
I got it in front of me.
Okay. And we have, we also have one addition tonight. A late,
Always got to throw a monkey wrench in it.
I'm sorry.
What's the addition?
It's an addition of an extra bill for Clean Waters Consulting for $787.50.
How much was that?
$787.50.
Okay, so
who is
that's
Clean Waters
That
Consulting,
is
just,
Stephen.
it's me.
that's you now. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
It used to be
that's
dirty water. Now we changed it to clean water.
right. To be dirty water? Oh,
Okay.
That.
I have the disbursements. And do you have this number, Jesse? 33,000. Give me the number.
I had 38. Oh, I added it instead of taking it away. Sorry. 30.
Bottom line.
Yep. 30. 37.
Was that 787? You said?
37, 46, 66.
Okay. 8, 9, 11, 12, 16. I don't know. All right. I'll just read what's here and we'll just add the other number. All right. So the balance on hand is $170,637.33. At the beginning of the month, we had total receipts of $11,353.30. There were total disbursements of $37,834.16. An additional disbursement to the dirty water outfit owned by Avakian, $787.82. And the total on deposit after the disbursements is $144,356.47, less the $787.82 from dirty water.
And 43, 568, 97.
Yes.
Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Anyone want a second?
I'll second it. Just to clarify, Mr. Avaki is not involved with dirty water or clean water. It says
Oh,
Dr.
who was that?
Susher. Dr. Susher.
Steve, Susan.
Oh, if you got a haircut, then we
Okay.
pay him. Only if you got a haircut.
Avaki is involved with muddy water.
I appreciate that clarification.
Yeah, and Steve, from now on, we'll always see, instead of Princeton Hydro, we'll see clean.
Dirty water.
Yeah.
See both.
Water.
See
He's
both.
from Boston. He's from Boston.
Both, you'll still,
That
you'll see
dirty
both.
water.
There you go.
Allenhurst.
I'm sorry, will it be both?
No,
or-
you'll see both, Janie. You'll
Oh,
see both.
okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Allenhurst.
Aye.
Asbury Park.
Yes.
Interlaken.
Yes.
Lock Harbor.
Yes.
Ocean.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. You want to do an update on the one?
Okay. Electrification, we're getting there. We have a major bill to pay. And if you've been down there, but the wall has been modified. I'm going to share a screen real quick and show you guys on the. Let's get down here. I think we got that here, or the website has it. I'm sorry, the website might have better shot of it. So the wall has been restored. If you haven't been down there, it's all repainted. They did a great job on it. Also, it went underneath. They did the whole restoration of the concrete wall, including the building itself, underneath it and inside and outside. So it's almost a brand new building. That's an example of what they've done. That was all a rusty rail with cracked concrete. And it's basically a new structure. It's just wonderful looking out there. So that was the
railings new, or did they sand them and
sand them, painted them. They look great. They look great. And that's the railing out in the water. The other railing, some of it's new, some of it's old. It's after Sandy. We lost the whole railing system. It's Sandy. Anyway, Peter's going to go over the details on the bill we're paying. Pete?
Okay, thank you, Don. I will do the bill first so everyone understands what we're paying. And it's interesting because we have first a change order for you to approve. This item was the concrete wall repair, which was included in the original contract, but it was not awarded. When we received bids, we awarded just under $500,000 based on the amount of funding the Army Corps had available and provided to the state. Therefore, we deducted $43,750 from the contract award, and we deducted the restoration of the concrete wall from the original contract award. As the project progressed and we had discussions with the Army Corps and DEP, they have determined that there was in fact additional funding available under this beach nourishment item. So they agreed that if we submitted it to them for approval and they approved it, we could include it in the contract. So what we did is prepared what's called change order and supplemental agreement number 1 in the amount of $43,750 for concrete wall repair. And we identified in that change order that the work was included in the original bid documents. It was not awarded. Army Corps subsequently approved the inclusion under the contract. So we will ask for that to be approved tonight. And then subject to that approval, we will ask for a payment in the amount of $121,706.20, which includes that $43,000 change order and all the other work items that were completed to date. The remaining contract balance is just around $10,000, and that work includes meeting with the actuator tech, Quality Electric, Rick Manzo, who's the security consultant at the gatehouse. They're scheduled to meet Tuesday, December 8th. They'll get the actuators operating remotely and make any adjustments to the cameras. Precise will assist in getting the actuator operating properly because there's a little sticking on the north gate, I believe. And then the remaining work items include the lake level markers, the installation of the weather station that we already have, and some additional materials that Don has requested the contractor provide as backup, such as batteries and drills and things like that. So the work has progressed very well. We're looking to close it out very, very soon. So with that, Jesse, you have a payment number 5. That payment number 5 includes the items I discussed in the amount, again, of $121,706.20, which amount has been approved by the Army Corps.
And we're requesting that Ocean Township pays the money.
The way we do it is that we request Ocean Township pays this amount. Subsequent to that, we will close the project out and request reimbursement for the entirety of the project that's been effectively funded by the Township of Ocean. And when that money comes back, the bond will be paid off in Ocean Township. Jesse will keep her job and everybody will be happy.
Is the amount we're being reimbursed, does that include the $43,000 change order?
Yes, Bruce, it does. It was authorized. We wouldn't recommend that until the Army Corps signed off on it. The Army Corps signed off on it. So effectively, the adjusted contract amount from the Corps that they will reimburse is $543,225. On top of that, that they had $55,000 for engineering that they included. So we're getting close to $600,000 out of the Corps for the completion of this project. So congratulations to the commission and Don, because that's a lot of money to do something that was very important to us.
Yes, it is.
And before you vote on, I want to show, some of you may not have seen the actuators. I got the actuators on the screen here. These are this is obviously the building. These are the new actuators inside. So these are all Bluetooth controlled, believe it or not. And it's going to talk to another box on my back side where I took the photos. But we use the old bases that got restored and the new mechanisms on the top. It's a major improvement for sure. All right. So, and I think
About the Bluetooth control, what's the status of that part?
Tuesday it should be functional, we believe. Yep. Tuesday they're coming and working on it.
We're going to lock them in the gatehouse and we're not letting them out.
We're not letting them out.
Don
When the gates are, Margo, you'll like this. You might be able to see it from your house. When the gates are open fully, there'll be green lights on the north or south or both.
Okay. I'm writing this at green, open, okay?
Yep, that'll be 100% open. If you don't see green, it's not 100% open. Unfortunately, they couldn't put green. It was just a little bit open. It has to be 100% open. But those lights are on the outside. They're pretty bright. You can see them from Norwood. I think Santa can see them. They're so bright. They're nice. And they don't blink. They're just solid on. Oh, by the way, I just want to show you. This is, I don't know if you can see this. This is the live camera feed right now from the lake. So, and I'll show you.
We're going to put that on the website, right?
We're going to put some shots, right? This is the inside of the building right now. Oh, hold on. Can you see that?
Wait, can't see.
Oh, maybe that's it. There you go.
Is that a possibility, Ken?
So it's pretty cool. And then there's going to be one more camera that's going to be in the corner. And I'll show you the wall right now.
So,
And there's going to be another camera in the bottom left corner here. And so you'll be able to see the fish run. You'll see the fish be able to go up in and out of the flume. You'll see the top of the dam, which is pretty cool. And you also see the gauge is going to be put in that location. So you'll see the flood height. So.
you know
Anyway.
what they're using to broadcast that camera feed, Don?
It's cool. Yeah, Verizon.
Oh, they're using Verizon.
Yeah, we're paying, what is it, 39, Jesse, is it $39 a month for that
Free.
service?
Something?
39,
Okay.
close to $40 a month, yeah.
$40 a month, yeah. So extra bill, but it's pretty good. Okay, that's all I got. Do we want to let's get this on motion and
Right.
let's vote on
So it's
Jesse.
the resolution to approve submittal of payment number 5 to the Township of Ocean for the electrification of the sluice gate for $121,706.20. Someone offer?
I'll offer.
Second it?
Second,
Allenhurst?
Yes.
Asbury Park?
Yes.
Interlaken?
yes.
Walk Arbor?
Yes,
Ocean?
Yes.
319? Update on 319?
Okay, now this is a vote on the floating wetlands.
Well, first, does Jack want to explain it, or
I'm sorry, what's that?
does Jack want to explain?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Jack.
All right, so we already have the series of 6 floating wetland islands plus another one set in motion for Sunset Lake. You've already received the quote. We approved, paying for that, and as in addition to the armoring of that island, as part of a meeting that we had, myself, Peter, Steve, Don, Doug McQueen of the Wesley Lake Commission. We walked around Wesley Lake watershed and looked for some of the areas for some of the green infrastructure. And I noted that there's still money in the floating wetland island pot, the task order for that. So we decided we were going to be able to put some floating wetland islands in Wesley as well to use up some of that money. So I got a quote from the manufacturer for, I think it's 5 floating wetland islands.
Armor?
Yeah, with armoring. It comes out to just shy of $10,000. And so that's not including, and that includes shipping too. Shipping might change depending on what situation is in the spring, but
I have 98, 83, 48. That's what I got.
yes, correct. Yep.
Now, do
And
I have to,
that-
I have to sign this document, right? If we vote on this?
Yes,
Yeah.
you should sign it. Or I can sign it either way. I don't think it matters as long as somebody acknowledges and approves it. Then they'll send us an invoice so that they can get moving on building them, and they can ship them out in the spring, like the ones for Sunset. Once we have that in motion, then I can start doing, planning in terms of when they get here, where they're going to put them, and then we can start getting a plant order together. So that way we have plants to put in them and get all the like anchoring hardware and stuff together too. That's something that probably won't happen until closer to the spring. But once we have that going, and again, closer to the spring, I'll get I'll have one of our info meetings about the floating wetland islands to organize that. But for right now, it's that 9,888 or 83 and 48 cents. Is that what you said, Don?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's,
For
let's
the
go.
islands and armoring.
any questions on that, guys? It's all part of the 319 grant.
I think the armoring is going to be important too, especially in Wesley, without as much tree protection.
Yep.
Don, I think that it's important for the commissioners to know that the meeting that Jack referred to when we went out to the site, we transcribed our meeting minutes into a listing of 4 specific items that we wanted to complete with the Wesley Lake Commission effectively. We would do it under this contract. Jack's doing the majority of the work. We're doing a couple of the fire lane rain gardens. But they agreed to that, and they basically affirmed it as early as late as today in an email to us that they do agree we should enhance the rain garden on Main Street. We should work to install the rain gardens on the fire lanes in Ocean Grove. We should pursue the floating wetlands, and if money remains, tree boxes where available.
Thanks, Pete.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
Jesse.
I have one question for Jack. Jack, I know you were going to be getting back to training for the municipalities in relation to maintenance, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the meeting. That's the info meeting I'm talking about relative to probably closer to the spring, so that way we can use that as kind of a vehicle for not only teaching the municipalities about what's happening, what's going in, and what is going to be done, what's going to need to be done at not just the floating wetland islands at this point, but also the MTDs that we're going to be installing, like the rain garden and that Peter was talking about at Wesley Lake, but also the one in the Asbury Park train station. We're actually having, I spoke with DPW about that, and Tom from the Shade Tree Commission. They're going to work together. We don't have to worry about hiring a contractor. DPW is going to help level that, regrade the rain garden, and the Shade Tree Commission is going to take care of the invasive species, along with some other volunteers and stuff. I know Doug was pretty excited about that. He was there and met with Tom. But the meeting is going to help get volunteers as well through the Wesley Lake Commission, hopefully, because Gail was at the last one we had. DLA Commission, obviously, and Sunset Lake Commission. Susan, she was there as well. There was a handful of people at the last one. The same people we'd like to get at the next one, maybe a few more individuals as well, so that they can spread the word, in addition to us, to get volunteers for implementing the floating wetland islands, especially, because that's where we'll really need the help. But again, that's going to be closer to spring. I don't want to start that now and have people forget by the time the spring happens.
Yeah.
So that's, it's ready to go. It's just a matter of, I think, the proper timing. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you, Jack.
So we have the resolution
You're welcome.
2071 authorizing the purchase of the 5 floating wetland islands at Wesley Lake in an amount of $9,883.48. Someone please offer.
Offered.
Second.
Second, I'll second.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Love Barber,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
Excuse me, but before you leave the 319 grant, I'd like to add one other thing that occurred over the past month that everyone should really be excited about, something we've been talking about for the duration of the grant ever since we submitted it, the educational component. With Jeannie's help, I reconnected with the superintendent of Asbury Park School System and the Asbury Park High School. They have an engineering curriculum, And with that, I serve on the board, and we oversee some course information that they are pursuing there. The kids are tremendously excited and very intelligent. It's quite remarkable. When I was on the board when it started, I wasn't terribly enthusiastic about how many kids they would get. And I think the first year they had 40 some, and the second year they had 60 students in their Asbury Park High School curriculum in the engineering studies. I offered to bring a few of them out and use them as an educational component for this project because it's close to the school. They can watch it being done. We can do it with the MTDs. We can do it with the rain gardens in Ocean Grove. So I spoke to them last week. I'm going to talk to them again tomorrow or Monday, and we're going to set up. I don't know if the pre-construction meeting for the MTDs is appropriate for them to be at. It's going to be virtual. So when we set it up within the next week, I'll probably invite them to join on with us so they get a flavor of what the project is like. And then, hopefully by the time we do the work, we can be out in the field with them and show them exactly what it is we're doing. And they'll probably know more about the environmental benefits to the manufactured treatment devices than we do, because they're pretty
True.
Great.
But that's,
Peter,
They're very excited to have you, Peter. The teachers and the superintendent are all thrilled.
Great.
So have you involved with that.
They really want to see you run track again, Peter.
We'll get a lot of publicity out of it.
They want you to run the track team again. That's what they want.
I would do that. I would do that.
I think that'd also be a good opportunity to get volunteers for the floating well downs too.
There's no reason why they couldn't help, right?
Engineering into things, we can get them to understand what the engineering is supposed to be accomplishing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
both Peter and Jack, but particularly Peter, keep me posted on that because I'm trying to start this program through NOMS. It's part of their diversity training effort, with the North American Lake Management Society. But anyhow, it's this urban lake initiative, and then trying to get kids from urban centers and kids at risk and to try to get them involved in lake science. So this would be a really cool thing.
Yeah.
So keep me posted on that, and I'll let you know more about about the NOMS program because it's pretty well set up, and they're just looking for some way to increase diversity. And then, like I said, with urban lakes, it provides a perfect opportunity. So both you and Jack keep me posted, and I'll let you know what's going on with the NOMS initiative.
Hey, Peter, you think we can invite some of the kids to not the January meeting, maybe to the February meeting? We can invite them on Zoom if they can, if they call in or whatever.
We'll work on that. Thanks.
Okay.
Sounds like a great fit, what Steve's talking about.
Really
Sounds
is.
good.
Hey, we got to keep moving. So we got a long agenda. I got to pile up papers here. So
Thank you.
Ship it stiff program. We're talking to our friends at Clean Ocean Action, and we're going to another level now. Now that we have identified the problems with the dogs, with the help of the dogs, there's also another program where they have the ability to do actual testing. So they have a budget estimate of $75 per sample. And obviously we'll do the same, very similar process, dry test, wet test, and we'll be doing the test at the sites where we've had hits from the dogs and try to zoom in on the potential problems that we have. And that cost is basically not to exceed $1,650. Let's call it $1,700. So I like authorization to go with the Clean Ocean Action Program for the lab-based analytical water quality investigation. Phase 2. It's basically phase 2 of the original ship and stiff program.
Offered,
Thanks. Second?
Allenhurst,
yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Loch Harbor,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes. Okay.
Don, just one thing before we move off on that, because it is important that people understand that the data that, the fecal coliform data or whatever the bacteria data that they're collecting is not suitable for, submittal to DEP for like some type of an enforcement action. So we went over that with
Right.
Clean Ocean Action people. So the methodology is not consistent with what DEP would, require, to say, well, you're out of, you're outside of the boundaries of what, the
Right.
regulations require. But
We're not looking to inflict pain and suffering. We just want the problem fixed.
yeah,
That's
so
what we're
it's,
doing.
Yeah, so it's another elevated way of trying to evaluate where there's a problem and doing it in a more quantitative manner, but it's not the same as doing E. coli testing per se.
We're hoping that two of the problem areas now are solved because the pipes actually burst. So the dogs might have been right, and we'll see how it works out. All right, let me keep rolling.
I want to ask Steve a
I gotta
question
keep-
about that. Steve, what would be, I think the county and the state do that type of testing for free, don't they?
Not necessarily for free, but we went over this with Clean Ocean Action, and it did clarify that it would be for informative purposes, but it is a sophisticated testing technique, but it's just not the same methodology that DEP uses, so it can't be used for regulatory purposes. But it will give us some really good information, and then we can use that. And then, like say we pursued that with the county, then the county could go and proceed with the correct type of testing. But it's not the reason why I'm only bringing this up in case people are freaking out that we're going to be chasing after people and issuing violations or whatever. It's not, the data is good, but it's not that level of or that type.
The next step after the testing, Steve, would be probably dye testing with the sewer authorities. So
yeah, something along those levels, right?
Yeah, we're dealing with two sewer authorities, Ocean and Asbury for the most part. So that's who we'd be working with.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for explaining that.
Okay. CV Mall, we're going to talk about again in the January meeting. Don't have anything on that. Same thing with NJIT, no action on that. Nobility Crest, Hunt's working up the letter for me. It's going to be a kinder, gentler email from the commissioner to Nobility Crest. Sign update. We have the signs made for the geese. We purchased those. They're in the house. I distributed 5 signs to our friends at Westwood Lake to be posted. Also talking to the Sunset folks, and I'm going to grab some of them. Those volunteers over there, we're going to put some signs up over. They got a lot of goose signs on Sunset. They must have at least 4 or 5 signs already up there. Just basically say, don't feed the geese, or we're going to fine you. Mm-hmm. These are more informational, as you know. So we'll get them up there. And on Deal Lake, I don't know how many. There's a few signs that are up now. Don't feed the geese. So we're looking for additional spots and along the lake area. So if you have any ideas, email them over to me. We should put them up. I'd love to hear from everybody. Probably over by Bruce's house, along that waterway there, in Allenhurst. Probably every town needs to have a sign, because at least 1 or 2 or more. And there's some strategic areas in Asbury along the main lake. You see a lot of people feeding the geese. So we just want to try to avoid that. All right. We also have other signs made up for safe passage through the Main Street Bridge. They haven't gone up yet. We did put up the no wake zone signs. So most of those, there's a couple more that have to go up, but they're looking good. And obviously nobody's zooming around the lake right now at this time of year.
Could we go back to Nobility Crest real quick? I just wanted to ask, you said a letter was going out. Is it coming from the lawyer? Is it coming from
me? It's coming from me.
Coming from you.
Yep. You guys will have a chance to see it before I send it out. Next, Shoreline Protection. We had a great, Jeannie set this up a while ago. God, what was it, about 3 months ago we set this up, Jeannie?
Well, I started
You've been
with
working
them
on it for a
a
while.
year ago. Over a year ago, I started talking to them.
Right.
And
we finally got it going, and
yeah.
we had a great meeting. It was myself, Steve, Peter, and Jeannie, and it was a solid 2-hour meeting, hour and a half with 4 of the individuals in the state, and 3 stuck around for another half an hour. And we basically showed them the issues we had in the lake. Showed them all our tools, website, Facebook page, things we've been doing for the last couple of years. They were real impressed, and they told us about themselves. And we had 3 enforcement folks, and we had 1 for land use. Is that correct? I think
Permits.
So it was an eye-opening experience, and we had a couple key takeaways from that. Do you want to go over those, Jeannie, real quick?
Oh, thanks for telling me you were going to have me talk about that.
Come on, that's right on top of your head right now. Come
okay. On. Well, I was hoping to hear a little bit more from them, but it was great that you had some drone footage to show them, because they could really physically see the lake, since I think only one of them from enforcement had ever been to the lake. So they got a really good look. from the air. And we were able to point out shore upstream issues, some of the concerns we have. We showed them pictures of things because we've had questions about, you know, where do people need permits? Should they all? And basically, they said everyone should apply for a permit. If you're going to be
on the
doing
lake,
anything along the lake, first of all, they said anybody who lives along the lake should know that if they live along the lake, they're probably regulated by something. So permits are necessary, and they'll let you know if they need one or what you need to do in order to do whatever landscaping, bulkheading, docks, things like that are all needing permits. So basically that was kind of the takeaway from that. They gave us, they do have educational materials that they're going to give us some things to kind of for handouts, and they directed us to the websites where people can, and those are going to be on our website. We'll be providing people that in the future. I told them that we had been working on a brochure and we want it to be accurate in terms of permits. Who do we put them in touch with? What's the phone number? What's the correct place to connect? They talked about the permitting process, which I don't have right in front of me.
Jeannie,
right
as you talk, I'm sorry, excuse me, Jeannie. As you talk, I'm going to put the video on. So keep on going, Jeannie.
Okay, so we asked the guy that's supervisor for permits, and he discussed the process. And one of you can correct me if I'm wrong, but he said it could take up to 90 days for a permit approval.
Yeah, I think basically just one minor correction. Okay, so essentially what we were informed, it's not is that any work that's being done along the shoreline of the lake may require a permit. Okay. And what they advised is that a property owner file for what's called a jurisdictional determination.
Right.
So that's sort of just legalese for DEP reviewing a proposed activity and then determining, do you need a permit for this or not? Okay.
Right.
And I think, what was evident, because there was even confusion among the DEP people, is because there's a titling claim on a portion of the lake. There is basically 3 different regulations that cover activity along the shoreline, and it all depends on where you are in the lake. So if you're essentially east of the railroad bridge, they were using the railroad bridge, but Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the title claim extends all the way up to Wickapecka. But they definitely said the railroad bridge.
Yeah,
They did.
But so that would be covered under the coastal rules, the coastal regulations 7:7. And then if you're west of that, you'd be covered under either the freshwater wetlands or the flood hazard rules. Okay, so that's where there's there's ongoing confusion with that, and even during our conversation again with them, I mean, one of the enforcement people was saying, well, you need a permit and blah, blah, blah. But if it's a permit by rule, there's nothing that needs to be submitted to DEP. It's just the honor system. So, and we've got a case like that right now that Don and I are looking at. And they qualify for a permit by rule. But at the same time, it's up to them to say, I'm only limiting myself to 50 feet of clearing, or I'm just using examples like 5 cubic yards of fill or whatever. So there's no real way to check on it. There's nothing that's submitted to DEP. DEP doesn't issue a permit. So, I think the point that we're trying to make is that we really need to educate people that live around the lake. They just can't go out and do stuff. It is a regulated area. And they should be checking, not with us, but with DEP. But we need some kind of mechanism in place that, so that we know that people are filing at least a jurisdictional determination with DEP. And if, their action or their activities require a permit, we're being informed well in advance of when that permit, or before that permit's issued, so that we can check things out, or we can voice approval or voice disapproval on the issue of the permit. So, it's still a confusing thing. It's really, it's Peter, you can weigh in. I mean, but again, even
It was a great discussion, and we're going to obviously be talking more to them. I envision it is the DEP probably needs a team. Deal Lake's unique compared to all the other lakes on the shore, and they're going to have to handle. I think they have to handle it different. We're going to have a lot more cases like we have right now. There's a lot of new homeowners, and they want to do a lot of nice things along their lakefront, and they got to know they just can't cut down every tree and every shoreline and change it. So, we got our hands full, and we're going to have to make real quick decisions with the DEP soon, and have a sit down with them and then educate. We have links. Jeannie put some links on last year, and they're viable links. They're good links to the DEP, and it gives a lot of clarification. But I think we need more. When the requests come in from lawyers and engineers to DEP, it's no guarantee that the people we talk to are going to get those requests. It can go. Yeah. It goes to the coastal people, or go to the land use people, it go all over the place. So, and this is above and beyond the enforcement people that get the 1-800 calls on the Warren DEP. There's a couple actions on Deal Lake right now they talk to us about, and that's a whole separate subject. That's after the fact, right?
Well,
we want to solve the problems before it happens.
I was hoping, and I know it's a first meeting, I was hoping that some of this that we're talking about, we might be able to get some clarification on.
Sure. Well, we sent that thank you letter out the other day, so
yeah,
I haven't gotten anything back. We're hopefully next week we'll get something back from them and make sure we got the right links. And they have, by the way, Jack, they have educational brochures for us.
I just mentioned that there are.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. And one of the things, because like you say, Don, Deal Lake is unique and it's specific things. We started out down this road with them because we were putting a brochure to distribute to people. And I think we've got the information that we can put in the brochure, but our brochure is more specific to the Deal Lake Commission, to what we're doing with the 319 grant to help.
Okay.
And so forth.
Jeannie, I got to keep rolling. The subject. We'll bring it up again. Got to keep rolling. Weed treatment 2021. We're going to talk about it next month, but we did get a report from the company. And basically, in essence, I think Steve could help out with this. They basically said anything we do in Terrace Pond is you're throwing good money away. We can't really do much up there. It's too shallow. And the recommendation is to dredge, basically.
Well, yeah, I think
or we take the weeds out by mechanical methods.
Right. I think they're going to cover their butts too, but it is a tricky area to treat because it flushes quickly. You've got the issues with the golf course taking water for irrigation, and all these chemicals. It really comes down to timing.
Right.
If the timing's off by a little bit, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work as well.
Got it.
So
we'll bring it up next month again. First Responders Park, that's going to be next month. Coca-Cola plant, Peter, a lot of stuff going. They're grounding a lot of concrete up. Any more words on that? What's happening?
The only thing that the owner of the property has secured is a demolition permit.
Okay.
With that, the township issues a clearing.
There are lots of brands out there that are simply off the rack. And then there's brands that are made with lots of love and come from a super special place.
Who's that? Not me.
Jesse, that's you.
Was that Jesse?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounded good.
I know.
I was waiting for a picture to pop up.
We have no formal development application submitted to Neptune Township.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
So that's where we're at.
We'll be waiting. The fishing question popped up the other day.
I missed that whole thing. So say that again about the Coca-Cola.
Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening.
No plan has been submitted.
Nothing.
Thank
okay. But Peter's on the planning board, so remember that. He's the engineer. Okay.
Sort
of. I think Rob's on the call. I did check the fishing out. I asked a bunch of folks that I had fished with before, and it was a little slow in the summer. I did not get a call back from the DEP on that, Robert. But I did go out and fish, and I caught a ton of yellow perch. Now, Steve, it was one after the other, baby yellow perch, and I have to share the screen and show you. I mean, it was pretty funny. It was one after the other. Hold on one second. There you go. There's the perch. A lot of
Yeah.
perch.
Well,
Oh,
they eat a
that's
lot
a
of
big one.
Have a mustache.
Yeah, it was quite a perch run.
Yeah,
But it
well,
was my son and I caught one after the other. So small
I've never
yellow
seen a
perch.
perch with a mustache.
Amazing.
keep in mind,
So-
they eat a lot of zooplankton, and when, if they decimate the zooplankton, then that's when the algae go up. There's nothing
Oh,
to
really?
check. Yeah, so,
I never saw, I mean, honest, I haven't seen any yellow perch in the
Fish-
lake in years. And this was the first ones I've seen. It's just, we're catching on worms one after the other. So anyway, is that a good sign or a bad sign?
But it-
yeah, I mean, they're a good, game fish, but I'm just saying, it'd be nice if you had a whole bunch of, like really big largemouth bass in here to eat those guys.
Yeah, well, they're supposedly in the lake, but we haven't found any. But I know that's what Robert's worried about. We're still looking at that. Okay. The carp goose remediation, we'll bring more of that up, but we got the signs going, and we'll talk more about the treatment and the other geese chasers. Asbury Park is doing the geese chasers. I have a quote that we're going to talk about next month on the lighting, the goose lighting that Wesley's done, and hopefully next month or the month after, probably February, we'll have to hold off on that on the lights because we're not going to be doing anything in the winter on the lights anyway. But I do have paperwork and quotes on that ready to go. Next,
Is this, I wanted
Jesse,
to,
this is the tree.
Right, the additional tree that was
Yes.
removed by Interlake and Shoreline from the original. Back,
This was
what was it, in May or June that we,
This was $150 extra.
right, this is that we didn't, remember they weren't going to they didn't want to take the tree out, and then Interlake and
This
said,
was-
take the tree out.
This was Burke Environmental, right?
Right. With the-
And the tree's gone. I mean, they are.
Right.
That's it. They just took another tree. By the way, they just took a giant oak tree out across from my house from an Interlake property owner, and the Interlake property owner paid for the removal. It had to be a $10,000 bill. It was a big tree, and they took almost a week to get it out. So it was piecemeal, and they dragged it across the lake.
So this
in
is just
pieces.
authorizing the pay
Yeah.
of $150.
Okay.
So someone please offer.
Offered.
So moved.
Second,
Second,
Allenhurst,
yes.
Asbury Park,
yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Walk Harbor,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
New business.
Okay. Go ahead, Jesse.
Does everybody get the budget that
Yeah.
Ryan sent?
Yeah.
That's what we'll be voting on, it's just basically all the proposed amounts for next year. Don, do you have any questions?
Not on the actual budget, the one sheet that I think everybody got with the unexpected balances, there's definitely typos in that.
Yes,
So I don't want
definitely. The
to,
unexpended,
trying to get a resolution on that. So that's not going to be made public. That's not,
right.
they have advertising budget as 3,000 and we have unexpected balances of 22,000. So we kind of made money on advertising. That was pretty good.
I think there's a few little
Like
typos in there.
Yeah. And then we made money on general lake maintenance, made $300 on general lake maintenance. So
Right.
I don't know how we do that.
Right, so I think there's a few little tweaks in them.
Yeah, but the budget itself is very similar to the previous
Right.
year. The biggest thing is we beefed up engineering. Is that
And-
correct?
And utility expenses because of the flume
That's correct.
and the wet. Yeah.
Utilities went up from, hold on one second, went up from 1,500 to 4,000.
And
So,
even special projects, because of doing the Zoom meetings, it's an extra cost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
that's
Okay.
right, yeah.
So that went up.
That went
Well,
from,
it was 5,000 last year, but we did quite a bit this year.
yeah, but it didn't change. Though. It didn't change.
No, but we just have to remember that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So someone will approve the proposed budget and assessments for 2021.
Any other questions, guys? Okay. Jesse, go ahead.
Okay, someone please offer to approve the proposed budget and assessments for 2021. Second,
Second,
Allenhurst,
yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Interlaken,
Yes.
Walk Harbor,
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
The next one is we have a storage unit to store all of the stuff for Deal Lake Commission. And it went up a little bit from last year, so it's now 1,600. Right, Don? That's,
Yeah.
we keep all our cleanup supplies and anything that you need.
Generator.
Generator. Garbage can,
Great.
extra garbage can.
So that's what that is, just authorizing it for another year. So someone.
Boots.
Offered.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Allenhurst,
Yes.
Asbury Park,
Yes.
Interlaken, Loch Arbor.
Yes.
Ocean.
Yes.
Okay, Don.
Okay, Loch Arbor sand remediation plan. So I got a request from the mayor of Asbury about the sand, looking into, blowing sand and, washing in the lake, And, he's had talked to me about before, and, I'm very sensitive to the sand blowing the lake from years, right? So, I want to thank Margot for jumping on it, and she did a great job, and the sand was cleaned up almost immediately. It's almost like she was out there with a shovel herself, but it looked good. And Steve Casson, should be complimented, because a while ago he put all new snow fencing up on his south side, so that's well protected. So, and I guess we're still talking. I'm still talking to the mayor of Loch Arbor about that. And maybe I don't know. Peter, you got any questions on that?
No, the issue was dealt with by Loch Arbor after Sandy, when they installed a wall that I designed with them, which was a masonry base with a decorative rail on top.
Right.
And the masonry base is between 24 and 30 inches above the existing ground elevation, which is intended to prevent that just discriminatory sand from blowing into the lake. I think there may be areas between the limits of the wall and the Casson snow fence. So we have to take a look at it and see if there are
Okay.
an area through there on we said a northwest to southeast, or a northeast to southwest.
The big problem is these big storms that fills up. They just did it. Margot's team, I don't know what kind of team she had, but they dug all the sand off the street. They dug it back of the wall, but the wall's already filled up, and a little bit has already spilled on the street. So it really fills up fast, Margot. It's amazing.
It comes out, no, it comes out the entrance there. Yeah.
Yep.
And usually we just have people, obviously in the summertime, sweep it. Like that's a daily job. In fact, my son's done it before. But, and it happens very quickly, like in a nor'easter. So,
Yeah. But thanks again for getting that done.
It's my pleasure. Yeah.
Peter, could I ask, is there anything that you see as a longer term solution? I mean, off season that might help the sand from getting on the street?
Yeah, we've done it in the past, and unfortunately, the DEP has determined that it is no longer legal to construct a seasonal sand berm. So we've had towns get violation notices for doing that, and they've written to towns and say they will no longer permit a sand berm to be built in, say, October and take it down in April. There's a fallacy to that on the part of the state, but we're dealing with it. And Allenhurst, Ocean Grove, several towns have gotten violations for it, and they're costly at times, and there's no reason for it. So we're working, but there are options for it, but it's difficult to do because you need a permit and you need manpower, and Loch Arbor has no manpower.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. Thanks, Pete.
Just to add, I spoke with Mayor Moore. Actually, we emailed. He spoke with Mayor Fernicola, so that was good. Just that they're having that communication because there wasn't that before.
Excellent. Okay. Steve, you want to talk about the grant opportunities that you were talking to us about?
Yeah, okay, so it's a 5-star, it's an EPA grant, 5-star, what they call a 5-star grant. Honestly, I was really psyched about trying to go after this, but I mean, it's due on January 28th. You need to have 5 participants, so it would have to be the commission and then 4 other bodies to, work with the commission. And if we weren't on the COVID right now, I would pursue it, but trying to get people together and, and there's a requirement for, it's a dollar by dollar match, although you can match but within kind. 60 days is just not enough time, particularly with the holidays and then with COVID, for me to pull this off. I mean, we've gone after this grant before without any success, but unfortunately, after I started looking at it and thinking about the calendar and just, I'll keep my eyes open for other grant opportunities, but it's just going to be really way too difficult to pull it off.
Okay, thanks. I read it over. It did seem like a lot.
I'm just thinking we have three commissions, and then Monmouth University.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we could get 5 entities together. I mean, that's not.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you, we're so stretched right now with resources. We have so much on the table between the flume closure and these 3 teams. I can't even envision doing this. I mean, I read it over too, and it looks like a great thing, but I'm not even sure how much we get a benefit of it, because it's a lot of green infrastructure stuff. We're doing green infrastructure. So.
Right. It would enable us to like expand what we're doing right now, or maybe cover some projects that, Jack can't cover with the existing 319. But like I said, I think it's more, it's just more the time commitment. And really, we have less than 60 days. We need to do on the 20th.
Yeah, we're gonna have another 319 opportunity coming up, I believe.
They haven't made any notice on that yet.
Yeah, so that's going to be.
Probably won't, because as the state's cash strapped right now because of COVID too.
Well, thanks, Steve.
So before we leave the meeting, I just wanted to speak about water testing real quick.
Oh, we're not done yet.
I'm
Hold
sorry.
on.
I thought that was the last.
We're still going. We're still going. I got the drone. Go ahead, Jean.
Okay. So, we had Jason Adolph here from Monmouth U and Aaron Conlon in October. So in almost every e-blast that I send out via the DLC email server, we've been encouraging people to become citizen scientists to do water testing on the lake.
Okay.
So the training we have had, it's provided in person, and I'm telling anybody who's public is in tonight, or anybody who watches the program afterwards, we need more trainers. The training is provided in person, very small, tiny groups because of COVID, and it's conducted by Erin or Dr. Adolph from Monmouth University. 2 people were trained in November, and 2 more are being trained in December, but we do need more people out there testing the lake. We can offer the training to you. If you're interested, go to the Deal Lake website. It's up on the screen. Yep. Put your name, your email address. Please put in the subject heading Citizen Scientist Training. And then just say you'd like to become a water tester for Deal Lake, and we'll connect you up, make sure that you get in touch to get your training.
That's
okay?
Awesome.
That's it.
Thanks. You guys might have read an article in the paper last week about the political signs some of my Boy Scouts picked up. We had some great photos. They didn't put them in, but there was 16 signs we found, and that was up by Axenia on Asbury Avenue. They took about 8 trash bags out of trash, which wasn't bad considering we've had more, but the signage was insane. They were blown on both sides of the building, and it looked like somebody threw them on the Ocean Township side. So we got that all cleaned up, and I called Don Stice because I was really ticked about it. I mean, I know Eric's not here tonight, but it turns out to be illegal to put these political signs on public roadways, believe it or not. So people want to put them up, and they complain about people taking them down. There's a reason they take them down, because they're illegal. You can put them up in your yard, but you can't put them up in public spaces.
And you're supposed to take them down within 14 days.
No, you're not even supposed to put them up.
Well,
you're not even supposed to put them up on public roads.
Oh, okay. But I mean, if you're on private property,
Sure,
you're supposed
sure.
to take them down.
Anyway, I thought it was a good effort. And if you see any signs, just grab them and throw them away. That's the best thing I can say, because you usually find them on the bottom of the lake, a year from now.
Is the election over?
Any other new business, guys? No? Okay. Let's open it up to the public meeting. Jess?
A motion to open the meeting to the public?
Oh.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, public, who's here?
Hi, this is Jeff Gold. I wish to be heard.
Sure, Jeff, go ahead.
Hi, I'm at 16 Deal Lake Point Road. First, I want to thank Ms. Tower and the staff for posting my request for anyone who lost their paddle boat to come and claim it.
Yeah, we got that pretty much covered, didn't we? Did we find the owner?
And not surprisingly, nobody wants a half-sunk paddle boat.
Oh, well.
So I'm here just to ask if the commission has access to somebody with a motorboat who could tow it to the launch and have it disposed of. If not, I'm going to have to try to winch it out of the water and eventually up the slope and leave it at the curb. And I don't even know if Ocean Township will take it.
Hey, Jeff, just do me a favor, go in that site that Jeannie just said and give your address and contact information to us. And I'll try to talk one of my rowing guys. Maybe one of the rowing guys can hook it up and drag it over, get some little extra exercise on the rowboat.
You know, I see those guys and they're really strong. And this thing, you know, it took two of us in kayaks to
really?
Drag it 10 feet.
Yikes.
It is really bad.
You need a winch or something.
Now you're down which end of the lake, Jeff?
I'm about 4 houses from Wickapeco.
By Colonial Terrace or the other side?
Deal Lake Point Road.
Oh, okay, Deal Lake Point Road. Got it. I got you. Okay.
So
you're over by Nick's Pizzeria area that way?
Yeah, you can see it with the leaves off.
Okay.
Do you know if the township will pick it up if I can bring it out to the curb?
They might be able to hook it up with something and drag it out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Would they pick it up on big trash?
Just have to call them.
Oh, yeah, they would do that.
All right,
sure.
Because once the water's out of it, I could get it up the slope. But just getting it out of the water is going to be a bear.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, and just keep in touch. I mean, we're a couple of us are on that email system. So as soon as you punch into it, we get notice, your phone number and everything. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Anybody else? Okay, I guess that's it.
I just wanted to remind everyone, our meeting next month is January 21st, but I'll send out an email before then.
And I just want to thank everybody and our professionals for all the work they did this year. This was like a banner year. We did a lot.
Yeah.
And, I mean, my head's still spinning, and you guys have done a tremendous amount. And it shows on the lake. The amount of trash we pick up is less. It looks good. Blue-green algae wasn't as bad. I think next year even be better when we get the treatment devices in. So I thank you all. And thank the commissioners. We might not see each other next year. We'll see what happens with the new administrations.
I hope everybody has a really wonderful holiday and a restful one.
Have a great one.
Yes, everyone be safe. A motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second. Someone move to adjourn the meeting.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah and everything, okay?
Happy birthday.
Whose birthday?
Mine.
Oh,
Today?
Happy birthday.
You.
yeah, Jesse, happy birthday.
Stop it.
You just turned 29.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent.
It's the mask.
You look
I'm
wonderful.
Thank you.
I am impressed.
Everyone have a great holiday.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Thank you for all your work this year, both of you guys, Peter, Steve, Jack.
great job,
Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for all the
Yeah, you
extra
guys are
hours.
awesome.
Bye, guys. Miss you.
See you next month.
Later.